As you already know that what is happening between Israel and Palestine, there's so much of innocent people are killed every day, especially women and children. It's high time that there should be resolution between two countries and the international law order should do according to them. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today we are going to discuss an important topic, that what international bodies are doing in this regard and what is the role of UN here and why US has vetoed into this thing. So moving to the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss the news, and then we are going to discuss what is the veto power in the UNSC, and then why do only permanent members of the Security Council have veto power. So we are going to focus on UN veto power in today's lecture, and why has the power to veto in the UN not been amended, so why it has been still since 70 years, and then practice question for prelims and mains. So moving towards the news part. So you already know that there's so much of violence happening from both the sides, so it's high time that we should do according to them and according to the welfare for the masses. So for the sake of the welfare of the innocent people, it's high time that violence should be stopped, and violence is never solution for any kind of the war. And for such things, the UN has been designed. So it's the role of UN is very mandatory in this regard, that what UN is doing in this regard and what is the stake and what is the stand of other countries in regard. So coming to the first of all India's stand. So recently there was a resolution in United Nations General Assembly regarding the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, and among them US has voted against that thing, and in UNSC meeting the US has vetoed that thing. But coming to the India's stand, so India is not a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, but India has voted in favor of United Nations General Assembly, and for the first time India has voted in the favor of that there should be the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, because so many innocent people and children are killed every day. So this is the stand of India. So what is the significance of such kind of the resolution? So when coming to the United Nations Security Council, their decisions and their resolutions are binding in nature, which means that they are legally binding in nature. But when it's come to the United Nations General Assembly resolution, they are not legally binding in nature, and their resolution is passed by the simple majority. It means that half of the states and half of the member will rectify it. It means that the resolution has been passed. But why we take resolution in UNGA when it's binding in not in nature? Because it will tell the global opinion that what globally we are thinking about such kind of the conflicts. And it has been proved that majority of the countries has voted in favor of that there should be the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, and they had voted against the Israel, that what Israel is doing in the Gaza Strip. They are bombing Gaza, and so many people and so many innocent children and women are killed every day. There is a loss of property, there is a loss of human lives, there is loss of humanity every day. So this is the global opinion we have made regarding this UNGA, and we already have discussed that what is the India's stand. So in this news, we are going to discuss that US has voted against in UNGA, and in UNSC, US has vetoed the resolution. So why US is doing such thing? Because US is becoming a good friend of Israel, and US does not want to compromise on Israel's stand. And at any point of time, US is supporting Israel's stand, and they are voting against the Palestinians. So that's why US is doing, and US is the largest supply country to the weaponry to the Israel, and if the war would be stopped, there will be the economic repercussion on the US economy also, because US is benefiting so much from this thing. On the other hand, US is also showing themselves as a superpower, because so many countries are against this resolution, but by supporting Israel, US is proving its power that they can veto at any point, and they can also fail any resolution. So this is the news we are going to discuss, and we'll coming to that how many nations has supported this resolution. So 153 nation has supported this UNGA resolution, and 10 voted against and 23 abstained. Most of the time we have seen that India had abstained, but this time India had voted in favor of Palestine that there should be the ceasefire in Gaza Strip. And India had made its remark that they had voted for the sake of humanity. They are not supporting openly any country, but there should be no compromise on the lives of the innocent people. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about what is the veto power in the UNSC. So coming to the United Nations General Assembly, all the members are part of the United Nations General Assembly. But when it comes to the United Nations Security Councils, we have 5 permanent member of United Nations Security Councils and 10 non-permanent member for 2 years. So the resolution can be passed by a simple majority. I already have told you. And UNSC have 5 permanent member, and who are the members? United States, United Kingdom, France, Russia and China. And these are the permanent 5, and they are also called as P5. And I already had told you that there are additional 10 members, so which rotates after every 2 years. So this is the structure of UNSC and UNGA. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that what these 5 P5 members has right. So they have right to veto against any resolution, and they can also favor, they can also abstain. And if they will abstain, by securing 9 votes, you can pass any resolution. So they one member has exclusive right that if the member doesn't want to pass the resolution or fail the resolution, they can vote accordingly. So this is the most superpower they have given to all the permanent member of the United Nations Security Councils. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that why do only permanent members of the Security Council have veto powers? Because they are the one who had created United Nations Security Council and who had a great role in forming United Nations. And after the World War, so many countries are war-ridden, so many countries are poverty-ridden. So among all these circumstances, these countries have come up with the solution, and they had favored financially, politically and economically, and also the morally. And they had decided that there should be a body like United Nations which should promote peace and welfare throughout all over the world. So that's why these all countries has greater role in. And but they had also keep a condition, and what condition they have kept, that despite having that they are forming such kind of great organization, but they should have a veto power. It means that they should have a greater voice and they should have a greater decision making when it's coming to the any world order or any resolution related to any countries. So that's why they have given this upper hand. But right now the situation has been changed, but this is the historical regions we have cited, that they had the great powers, and so many these countries had tried to make peace and reconciliation between various countries. So that's why they have a major say in the UN voting system. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that why has the power to veto in the UN not been amended? Because this thing has been decided since 7 decades back, and after 7 decades we are still following the same tradition, we are still following the same rules and regulations. So why we had not amended such rules? Because right now the global dynamics has changed, the diversity has been expanded, and so many new things have come up. And at that time, who were the superpowers? Right now they were not the superpowers. There are other stakeholders who have a great role in the world economy, who are supporting other countries in a different way. And India is also trying that there should be a place for India and other countries for the permanent member, and the number of the permanent members should be increased. So why these things have been not amended? Because they had significantly decided that they had formed the United Nations organization, and they had played a very great role in the forming, and they had also economically and financially supported at that time when the world was in a rupturous condition. So that's why. But it's high time that these kind of things should be amended, and right now it should be accordingly to the global dynamics and what is the structure of today's world economy, today's world politics. It should be based on that. So these are the things, these are the reasons that these things have been not amended, but it does not mean that it should not be amended. It should definitely amended. And plus there are so many problems also among these permanent 5 members also, like Russia and US does not share good relationship with. On the other hand, Russia and China share the good relationship with. UK has the another kind of rivalry with the US. So what we have seen that all these 5 countries are not united among themselves, and they are not thinking about the welfare of the other countries. They are misusing sometimes their power, and they are voting against the very humanitarian ground and very humanitarian steps. So these kind of things are proving harmful for the world order. So these things needs to be amended. So moving to the practice question for prelims part, and the question is, consider the following statement regarding United Nations Security Council and its veto power. So here the highlight is the UNSC veto power, and your first statement is, the veto power cannot be utilized in matters related to the Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter. The second statement is, a resolution can be adopted even if one permanent member votes against it, as long as the majority of non-permanent members support it. The third statement is, the concept of double veto refers to the ability of 2 permanent members to jointly block a resolution. So here they are asking the correct statement. So kindly answer in the comment section. And here they are talking about the nitties-gritties of the veto power. You must know, and this kind of the question has been asked in the prelims examination. So you must be careful for the basic of any particular topic. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about the means question. Discuss the implication of the veto power wielded by the permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Examine the historical context and the impact of the veto on the decision-making process within the UNSC. So first what you have to do, that you have to give brief background about the UNSC and its veto power, and who are the permanent 5 members who can enjoy the veto powers. So this would be your background in the introduction. Then coming to that, what veto powers they have and in which manners they can exercise their veto powers. So you have to write that what is the process of resolution and how a country can veto against it, support it, and also the abstain it, and what are the other peculiar features associated with it, and then how they are proving a success as a world order. Many times it is proving as a success for the world order, but right now what we are seeing that in case of Russia-Ukraine war, also in case of Israel-Palestine war, there is a country which always veto against the humanitarian measures. So this should not be things. And the second thing is that why only 5 countries have such kind of the rights? Why? And what if we will look the structure of all these 5 countries, they are mostly the developed countries. What about the developing countries? What about the least developed countries? They are also part of this world order, and by decision making process they should have a equal say. So the member of the permanent 5 members should be increased. On the other hand, it should be on the rotational basis, so that every country should get the opportunity to take decisions, and so there should be a democratic way to run any international organization. So on this note, I am ending this lecture. I hope you like this lecture. If you have any query related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.